Hello, I'm ABX Toycat, and I know I'm forgetting something big, but I can't work out what it is. But either way, hello, I'm ABX Toycat. This is Superflat Survival, and my god, have we made some progress here in the last 26 episodes, huh? Look at this. Our entirely flat world of nothing but a chest has gone from being that flat world of a chest to having this lovely pathed over segment. We've got a forest, we've got a dirt mansion, and now I'm adding the biggest feature yet, a giant river which will encircle the entire thing. Or it's actually going to enspiral it because I kind of messed up, it looks like. But it's going to encircle-ish the entire thing, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Except actually, so we can build a river, I think it makes sense, you know, again, this is just one of those life pro tips. If you're going to be digging out a lot of ground anyway, and you want some new blocks, why not do the two things at the same time? I mean, you probably have a bucket somewhere on you, and if you don't have one yet, you can very easily get a water bottle, and those two things alone can turn your, your mud drilling experience, your dirt drilling experience into a mud drilling experience. And so, let's do it. Migraine? Lol? Oh, right, they're talking to chat. Right, okay, I was like, what? Do I look like I'm damaged? You know, and I'm gonna realize I've got a giant, like, wound. You know, most of the time I discover that I'm injured, it's because someone's like, oh god, you're bleeding, are you okay? And I'm like, you sure? You sure it's not someone else you're looking at right now? And then they're like, no, look at that. And you've got to, like, you know, work it out. You know, speaking of working things out, yeah, my big plan here, by the way, is to fill the river up and then to let the water kind of expand itself. It's actually quite easy to do this, and by quite easy, I mean it's kind of time intensive, because we do this 2 blocks apart, then we take the middle block, we put that 2 blocks apart, and now the middle block here can go over there, and then it starts to fill in, etc. Except now what we can actually do, if we have a... I just went to get one. If we grab a water bottle, we can make some wonderful things happen. It's going to be a lot of fun. As always, these are fun survival long-form streams where we get... Maybe look at your cam sometimes. Oh, you're saying to work out if I'm injured. It's weird. I think this is an unhealthy but probably common reaction, right? Is if you have like esteem issues, especially as a teenager, if you just don't look at yourself, they go away. But it also means a lot of other problems don't become obvious to you because you're not looking at them. You know, it's surprising how many of life's problems can be ignored by looking away from them. And that sounds like a funny joke, right? Like, oh yeah, you can just do... But it's like, no, actually, you can go very far in life while ignoring some stuff. Is Survival Flat able to be done in the main game yet, or just the preview still? That's a good question. We should try that out, huh? We should give it a little whirl. Might be fun to see. Might be fun to see. Anyway, yeah, what we're gonna do is we're gonna use our this thing, and we can make the water deeper. As you can see right here, it turns into mud, and then we turn the mud into a, you know, like shovel, and then we turn the... Look at this, the shovel does a shovel thing, and wait, I've got 2 shovels there. So okay, let's make this simpler. Only one of these. Yeah, now we can mine up the mud, and it's just like we mined the dirt directly, except we got some mud for our time. And yeah, we're going to collect a ton of these today. We're going to get a lot of mud very quickly by using this technique to our advantage. Actually, you know what, pro tip, make sure... it actually looks like, because of the way this has been timed, I guess if you have water there first, it's easier. So we'll fill it with water first, because we have to wait for the grass to undo itself, and then we'll be good. If you already have a lake or a river somewhere in your world, it's much easier to do, of course, but that's a separate thing. Anyway, yeah, let's go. We want to deliberately get the water going everywhere first, because it's a much harder to fill holes in the ground like this if you're doing it unnaturally. I do have to say, very, very painful, very strange experience. But yeah, I do have emeralds, and I'm looking forward to doing some trading with some villagers today. So something I want to take some time practicing. I think this is good for anyone, but particularly if you're you're streaming and therefore exposed to a lot of people on the internet. I want to get better at taking my time before speaking on certain things. You know what? One of the big issues with stream series is like, yeah, you're going to have a lot of comments from people where this is their first look, and they're going to have a question that would be obvious if they thought about it, but they're not typing it out on a live stream because they thought about it. They're typing it because they don't want to, or they're not going to. I'm not sure which way it works. You know, things like, why didn't you just use a furnace? Things like, you know, I still get comments like that every day. And it seems wacky and it seems silly and, you know, other objectives. But yeah, it's a normal thing. Toy Cat, when will you be reviewing Realms? I was going to do it today. It'll probably be tomorrow now, though. But yeah, it'll be good. I had no idea you could make mud. I traveled over 6,000 blocks to find mud, says that Jaden26. See, you know, I wish you'd watched this video sooner. That's the real amazing thing I'm doing by making this work. So yeah, this whole river that you saw is going to be filled in today. There's a lot of moving to be done, but it's an important part of things. Also, by the way, important announcement. Did you know that if you go to ibxtoycat.store, you can get a We Will All Die Someday mug? They're finally available. It tastes like my death that is impending. But no, yeah, I'm going to be using this a lot today. I'm using it as a cold insulator today because I don't drink hot drinks. But I just can't get over the mug. I know it's got a handle and just... so good. You know, sometimes you need a nice container to drink things out of. Like, it really changes your attitude towards the thing. Honestly, this is one of those weird things about anything in life, that because we all appreciate money is finite, although we don't appreciate time is finite or health is finite, but everyone knows money is, because eventually you hit zero on money. Whereas to run out of time, you have to, die? And to run out of health, you have to also probably die. You know, it's much harder to track the far future of those things. Whereas tracking your, tracking your money is very easy because we've got apps that do it for us, and you can't buy any more Slurpees once you get low enough down on the money. And so, if you want to really get into something, especially like health or money, health or fitness or whatever else, a weird recommendation is to spend money on. That's why like gym memberships are an effective thing, even though they're a ripoff, is because if you're spending so much money to be there every month, you can't not go. There's something, some people don't like this if you're not, if you're not very financially stringent, maybe it's not a good idea. But like if you want to get really into drinking water, buy an expensive water, water bottle, buy an expensive, you can get ones that speak to you. Or, okay, plug time, but you can get yourself an IBX Toycat mug. Just something, which by the way isn't expensive. It's only $29.99, and you get two of them. And they go as a set, so they work together. And like everyone hates the second one, but I love it. Anyway, so yeah, if you like something, spend some money on it. Like if you want to get into reading, buy some books. And now the books are there. What you're gonna do? You're gonna not read the books that you bought. Yeah, I think, if you want to get into fitness, buy some athletic clothing, because you can't just not use the athletic clothing. And also, it wouldn't work if you were doing it elsewhere. So yeah, I think those are some pro tips. Also, this is an annoying process. I'm trying to think if there's an easier way, but I don't think there is. Maybe if we, like, throw it far enough that way, the source blocks will know. We're always going to have to do, like, every other block at a minimum. Actually, maybe it works easier if we make it wider first. Let's fact check that. For these little gaps, it's really annoying. But if we make it wider, it'll fill the gaps at least. Yeah, now as we go through, it can fill the gaps. But if we make it wider first, is it easier to fill? Let's test that. I think I want to do the inside of this. No, it'd be the outside on this side that I want to do. So we'll actually, I guess we're gonna stick with the inside because that's what we've already done. So we'll make this wider here by a few blocks, just as a little test. That like, okay, what does it help us? Does it not help us? We'll find out real quick. The interesting, can you get mangrove from traders? You can. That is one of the cool features of 1.19 that not everyone knows about. It's pretty cool that every update, maybe it's almost time intensive in like a bad way. But every update, they now have to update all sorts of weird systems to make them a little bit better. Yeah, I think that this looks like it's more efficient because we're turning more water faster. But it is still the same amount of water, it's just now much more visible. So I don't think it's a big benefit. Yeah, so psychologically, I think having a bigger attachment to something, it works in lots of ways, and you can somewhat force that on yourself by spending money on it. You know, this is Toycat's bad relationship advice right here. You want to convince yourself to care about something, just spend lots of money on it, and then maybe you will. Maybe you will. So yeah, as we dig deeper, by the way, there's going to be a fun thing that happens where the bottom layers aren't going to be source blocks, but we can deal with that as we get there. That's very much a future me issue. And so yeah, by the way, here's my pro tip. Whenever we're dealing with slimes, we'll just run away from them, because we do need to do both sides at the same time. Oh, another slime spawned here. It's fine. It'll be great. So Kat, can you also thank you, Igor, for 18 months of membership. You know, we lost a few members, you know, last month, but it's cool to see. You know, there's something extra fun about people who stick around during times where a lot of people leave, right? Because it's not necessarily the expected action, and so it's extra cool of you to do so. Oh, that's so satisfying. When one block placement makes so many other block placements just magically work, it's hard not to love it, right? It's hard not to. Only if you're poor will you get attached to expensive things you buy, says I am Reddit123. I think it is entirely possible that if you're rich enough, you don't care about spending a ton of money on things. I think this was a joke from the new Ricky Gervais special, where he's like, yeah, I bought a gym membership because then I'd have to go to the gym. Then I realized that I'm a millionaire and I could buy a new gym membership every day of the year and it wouldn't affect me financially. And I thought that was a funny, like, you know, usually you're not meant to say that, like, oh, I'm so wealthy and it makes my life very easy. But I thought it was funny personally. Yeah, I think that there is a truth to that, though. That, yeah, the more money you're used to having, the less money is a tool, and the less money is, like, a defining thing, and the more it's just a tool, the more it's just a commodity, a thing that exists. Like, the fact that money means different things to different people is endlessly fascinating to me. You know, because one of the core tenets of our economic system is meant to be that... also, Enderstar, what did you have for lunch today? I went to... Okay, so maybe this is like a very Toycat eats out too much thing. But one of my favorite things is, like, I love looking at food places. And so when I find a food place that I know I'd like to go to, I'll, like, save it in Google Maps. And then that way, you know, when I'm in the area, I'll know that I'm near a thing I want to go to. I wanted to go to the cotton candy burrito that I ate in Vegas for so long, and so it was cool to be able to go there because I was nearby. Anyway, so there was this place that I'd done that to 2 separate times. Like, I found it again recently because it's so cheap, and I was like, wow, this must have been good if I found it before, wrote it down, and then found it again now, and I'm also trying to write it down. And so, yeah, basically... I went to a place. It's a barbecue place called Walter and Monty. It was like £5.50 for a salad box, air quotes. It was a lot of meat, not a lot of salad, and yeah, it was delicious. I love food so much. We could do an entire Superflat survival series where all I'm talking about is the foods that I enjoy very much. We could go very far with that. Maybe we should go very far with that. That's there's a good idea if I've ever heard one. But yeah, no, IBX Toycat, you're gonna farm frog lights. In this world, I can't get frogs. I think doing it in my bed, like, honestly, I think, like, looking into the solutions for doing it in a Bedrock world might be worth doing, you know. But yeah, right now, it just seems so intense, right? So something I've been considering, because tell me what you think about this as a viewer, because as a YouTuber, I've noticed that a Minecraft YouTuber, the standards for, like, what is a video now, they've gone up significantly. Instead of just, yeah, you play Minecraft for an hour, edit it down, you know, make a video, or you edit it into free videos or whatever. Now it's like, yeah, I spent 16 hours playing a Minecraft world, and here's a 10-minute recap of it. Anyway, so one of the things I wanted to do, because Let's Plays, obviously, they're much harder to do within those confines. Because the idea was always, here's 20 raw minutes. It's old YouTube in a world of new YouTube. And it was already pretty old YouTube compared to pretty new YouTube. Wow, we all will die someday, huh? Anyway, one of the things I think I'm doing is taking, like, the equivalent of what would be lots of projects and condensing them You know, I guess instead of every week, it becomes every few weeks. But we can take all the things I've been doing across multiple weeks and turn it into one. Could still keep the kind of like explain what's going on in my life between things element. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe that's a terrible idea. But yeah, it's something I want to do. I miss small scale videos, but I'm old and weird. It says cheese tastes good. I had a fun realization yesterday. So there's a genre of YouTube videos I really like. I don't want to talk about it because it's such a weird thing. But there's a genre, and there's a lot of guys who make videos in this space. And I can't stand a couple of them, right? And I do quite like a few other ones of them. That's with all YouTube, is it? Everyone thinks that like, oh, this one guy that I don't like is just terrible, and this one guy I do like is great. But you know, we all have preferences for what we enjoy and don't enjoy, and that extends to toy cat watching airplane videos. Anyway, so it's weird because even though like I really like some guys and really don't like some other guys, it ultimately does kind of come down to twist the concept, take 20 minutes of gameplay, and stretch it to a 16-hour video. I like that a lot. Hey, thank you so much. That is our first new member this week. Bex Preston, thank you so much for becoming a support cat. It is the best way to support the channel. Oh, wow. Following up with a tip. I can't believe strangers are so nice to me. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, God. Because I watch you more than Netflix. Thank you. I watch YouTube more than Netflix too. It makes me question sometimes, like, why does £12 for YouTube Premium or £10? I think it's $12. No, I think it's £12 actually. £12 for YouTube Premium feels so expensive, even though I definitely watch more than every other streaming service put together. Thank you for watching me specifically more than Netflix though. That means a lot. I mean, I do make too much content across the channels. Watch any of the videos on glitches from Reddit? Oh, I haven't. I should check out some, see what's going on in the Minecraft Reddit, clearly, huh? Might be some interesting things happening there. So, yeah, it's, £6 for us. We get it through Sky. Oh, that's weird that your broad, you know, what are they called? TV provider gives you Netflix. Like, you'd figure they'd be like, no, you don't want Netflix. You want to watch it through us. I guess nowadays the only reason people buy TV packages is for the sports and stuff, right? Hey, Dylan G Tech, thank you. Second new member of the month. What a happy day it is for memberships. No, I really appreciate it. Thank you for joining the membership cartel. That's definitely what we are. It's definitely a cartel. But yeah, I think it's I think there is like a really interesting premise behind the you know, like the whole of our society, the whole capitalist world is built on the idea that we that you know what best to do with your money, and that everyone can find a best price because everyone's got this. Yeah, but like ultimately, like people value money so differently as an object itself. Like obviously we're all going to value grapes differently. Some people like grapes, some people hate grapes, some people love grapes, some people you couldn't pay them to be in the same room as grapes, and so like you can use price to sort those things out. But it's weird when you realize that, yeah, some people can spend... Okay, so, if you want to know about my... I'm in the process of planning a video right now that involves spending a lot of money. It's like too much money to my sensibilities. I grew up without very much, and so it's like, man, can you really spend that much just on a fun day? The answer is going to have to be yes for the sake of this video. Anyway, so, something interesting about that is that, like, there are people that go through there every day and just will probably, like, casually do it as, like, oh, yeah, I feel like doing it today. Yeah, why not? Without any of that internal conflict about, is this too expensive? And I think they're happier people. I think you'll be a lot happier if you can have that mindset. It's just, you know, can everyone have that mindset? Can you look at... YouTube Premium feels... also, the British person pronounces their T's, unlike Roadman, who say, Wagman, man, I'm British, mate. I was taught that my grandmother is an immigrant. She came from Sri Lanka in Asia, and I hear this is quite common amongst immigrant families. Like it can go both ways, where like you know like low, you know like but it can go to where they don't really care about country, etc. All, but also it can be like no, they love this place. if you're just British born and raised, this is just where you grew up. If you move here though, you must love this place so much. If you took away your whole life overseas just to make this your place. Anyway, wait, your grandmother's from Sri Lanka? Yeah, I definitely never mentioned it anywhere. I definitely haven't mentioned it. Yeah, so she was like very strict on like English and like speaking it properly. Make sure you speak English as well as one can, because it's very important not to sound like the undistinguished. Yeah, I don't know what she said. Yeah, I'm just to clarify, I'm not gonna get into some fun immigration argument here, because you know I also feel like here's the funny like counterpoint. You know, because even though you might say like, Toy Cat, you really must love, you know, but it's like actually most immigrants are the ones who are like most anti-immigration, right? They're the ones who are statistically most likely to come out against it, or at least illegal immigration, because they want it to be hard, because they want people like them to come there. They don't want people who are like breaking the law, etc., etc. There's an interesting, there's an interesting phenomenon to me that is. The way... Okay, so... Big Salmon Revenger. Didn't even get my stuff today. There is... You're saying all Brits don't sound Cockney? Yeah, love. You see, some of us, we love a good fish and chips. We go down the pub and we have a lovely conversation. I can't... What was that? That was a little Australian by the end. No, yeah, it's funny. Apparently the most common accent is multicultural English, where you mix in the wagwans, etc. IBX Toycat, what do you think 1.20 will be? I think it may be an end update. I think you could discuss this forever and not tread any meaningful ground, which is why I want to make a whole video on it sometime. But no, 1.20, I would like to believe the most likely thing is an end update. However, you know, what about a new dimension altogether? The end is pretty nice. What if they do make the end better? There's so many different things that you can, there's so many different ways you can take it. Ever done a shoey Toy Cat, says Michael D. I only know the shoey from Formula 1, but I would like to do one. I love, you know when you're hot? Yeah, isn't that bad? Does everyone else agree being hot is not good? Oh, it's so nice putting my cold hands in my face. Speculation is speculative and stuff. Yeah, I think as long as you're just admitting you're speculating, you should be good. Also, do you think the villagers are changing professions now? Okay, besides, like, 3 of them they are. Remember, only 75% of them need access to their job sites. So that might be good news for us. Honestly, what if we just kill the villagers with the wrong professions? Like, the shepherds, why don't we just murder them? Yeah, why not, right? What could go wrong with that as an idea? I don't see anything. If there's shepherds in the wrong place, we kill them until we breed some new shepherds in. Because I've traded with all my cartographers anyway, so they're not going to lose their professions. Okay, so there's one there. Okay, this is my good idea. Okay, now they're going to breed some new villagers. If they don't, we just throw some more ones in there. No, make the villagers mysteriously disappear. Iron Golems will attack you on sight now, won't they? I'll just trade with the villagers till I make it better. You can always solve all your problems with money. Is something you would think if you were rich enough. I guess if you're poor enough. Actually, I'm not sure which way around that works. Here's a thought I've been thinking about for a while. You're welcome. Is the word dictionary in the dictionary? If it is, what would it be defined as? That is a good question. I mean, I feel like dictionary makers would really trump up the meaning of the word dictionary. Like a holy book that distinguishes crazy men from cultured ones. You know, that is funny to imagine. Okay, so did anyone else have teachers that said this? Because I had like multiple people in my life say this, and I think it's the most boring thing I can imagine. But I've had multiple teachers be like, oh yes, when I was bored as a child, I would read the dictionary. Just look for words, you know? And it's like, that sounds awful. That sounds like the worst read. You know, like it's hard enough to get through a bad book sometimes, just like when it's just a normally bad book. But imagine the bad book is actually just a list of words. I mean, you could argue every book is just a list of words. You know, that's beautiful, isn't it? Every book is just a list of words. Anyway, yeah, by the way, I'm back in the UK and I'm feeling a lot less. I think one of the things I'm getting better at, I'm gonna be wrong because it's gonna ruin me one day. I'm getting better at, also, what is that? Do you see that? Oh my god, it's a baby zombie riding a kitten. I did not know that. I knew they could ride cats, like very rarely, but a kitten? That is insane. Who made this? How? See, you know, sometimes you think to yourself, well, Java's the version of the game. Look at this. The cat is even looking directly up at the villagers because the zombie controls the cat that strongly. Oh my gosh. That's so funny. I love that. I love that a lot. So, yeah, that's good stuff. That's very good stuff. If someone can clip that, share it with me on Twitter. I'd love to. Oh god, yeah, and just a reminder, by the way, this is the silliest thing about mounted mobs. Look at the distance that he can hit me from. Don't you think this is a tiny bit unfair? Wait, I'll go from the side just to really show it off. Okay, so I'm here. Actually, this is pretty close now. Okay, that wasn't too terrible by what I was expecting. The kitten's attacking its own kind. Trap it and put it on display, says Obi-Wan. That's not a terrible idea. I mean, the cat will grow up into a full... Yeah, you know, actually, that's a good idea. Let's do it. Let's go grab that boat over there. Let's put him in a boat. That cat has become tainted. Isn't that animal abuse? I mean, if you think about it, isn't any use of animals animal abuse? And if your answer is no, then maybe you're just... Yeah, this is adorable. This is the weirdest thing. The baby zombie just looks like he's in the boat by itself. Oh, gosh. Okay, now there's a slime in there with him. Oh, I'm going to have to name tag them or something, right? Or they'll despawn. If I give them, like, a hat or something. Yeah, I don't think this is going to work. I think they're just going to despawn, sadly. I think that'd be so cool for the museum, though. Should we? Should we, you know? We don't have a name tag on us. It's a real struggle. Life is painful. Congratulations, you're a dad with a cat and a slime. Thank you very much. I'm doing my best that way. No, yeah, it's a really strange, really strange thing, like moving time zones so quickly. Like I'm back in the UK as I'm recording this. A few people don't know about that, but like, yeah, this is me. I'm in London for the next 2-ish weeks. It's not even 2 weeks anymore. It's like a week and a half. By the way, wow, will we all die someday? You could find out at ibxtoycat.store. Just have it. Also, yeah, I've learned a few... I think putting yourself through stressful situations is how you learn about yourself. Like, people say to do that with relationships, but I think that's probably bad advice. But I think you learn a lot about yourself when you're in bad situations, you know? Like, when you're... We all like to be the strongest version of ourselves as much as we can, which is, like, great. That's, like, a wonderful societal point with all sorts of lovely benefits. But it does mean that sometimes you're, like, not always scared. And so, yeah, anyway, I've been in this weird state where my body gets tired super, you know, like, early in the day. Randomly, just to be like, why haven't you slept yet? And it's like, I slept last night. But, you know, it doesn't understand the sleep because it's on an off cycle. Anyway, so, like, fighting through tiredness, fighting through and getting stuff done anyway, there's something about that that is really, like, I don't know what I would say about it, but it's useful because if you leave, okay, a lot of people like to leave themselves be and just have, you know, like, I don't know, generic, just, you know, a holiday where you go somewhere and you don't have to think. They want to turn off their brain for as long as they can. It's not a holiday, I understand. It's not an activity, I understand. But, like, I feel as though you learn the most about yourself by doing the opposite. You have to think your way out of problems and solution find, etc., etc., etc. You have to be able to deal with a struggle. And something about that is good. Sounds a bit like Burnout, if you ask me. I think Burnout is, I think that's a real thing that can happen if you're, like, pushing yourself and not allowing yourself any space, right? Like, to me, life is this balance of, like, work life and not work life, you know, like home life, we can call it, even though I work at home. Finding the balance between what you want to do as fun and what you want to do as work is a surprisingly hard task, honestly. Like, I see why people struggle with it, at least. And yeah, one of the weirder parts of it. Okay, there's a slime here. Should we just go back to the other side? Now let's just go further out. We've still got 2 buckets. We don't have 2 buckets. Let's grab a second bucket, and then we can just go wherever we want. But yeah, I think turning your brain all the way off is like comfortable, but like it makes you there. I also think it's actually bad for your long-term health to turn off your brain. Like, it's really satisfying just to lay there, eat too much food, and then, you know, die. But
I died
speaking
in
of
my
dying,
long-term world and lost all my stuff. Do you have advice to keep motivated? Also, first toy cat tax.
so I can't relate in Minecraft, but I recently died. I recently died in RuneScape. I'm a hardcore Iron Man, so it's basically the same thing. Now, how do you stay motivated after dying and just feeling like, oh, what do I do now? So step 1 is your stuff might not have despawned yet. So go get your stuff, just in case you want it for later. That's like you should do this as a minimum future favor to future you. Or current favor to future you. You get what I'm saying. Yeah, you should do yourself a little bit of a favor there. But the more interesting question, perhaps, is like, you know, what do you do to stay motivated on things? Because a lot of people do, you know, funnily enough, we're talking about, like, keeping yourself motivated to do hard things. There's an element of doing that in Minecraft, right? Like, how do you stay motivated to keep working on this really tricky build? Ultimately, like, all the real motivation sources come from within. You've got to find the thing that motivates you best. I think for most people, like, looking at people's finished progress pictures and being like, I want to be there, that can work real well. I mean, it's, like, I think envy is one of the 7 deadly sins, right? Am I wrong about that? I don't know. I'm not going to pretend I know deadly sins. You know, why are they deadly? Are you going to die just because you want something that someone else has too bad? That doesn't make any sense to me. But, yeah, like, also, I should totally move these around, right? Also, let's go empty our inventory. Let's go do that right now. Yeah, also, wow. I sure am hot. I like that my "we will all die someday" mug keeps my hands cold. Wow, what's that? If you spend more than $50 at ibxtoycat.store, you get a free Valentine's Day card. Yeah, that's true, by the way. That's totally true. There's currently only one design for them that we just kind of did as a fun mock-up. It's either as rare and valuable as a desert well. Yeah, I'm thinking for next Valentine's Day we actually can go all out and make them. But if you want the free first sample that we made, you can. Is it free? I mean, this is the trick of the word complimentary, right? Like, if it's free but you have to pay money to get it, is it really free? And like, not really, but also sort of. You know, there's a funny line in the sand. It's really hard to precisely draw, but we all kind of know where it is. So, they started as 7 deadly temptations in a book for monks, but the Pope at the time upgraded them to sins. Ah, yeah, temptations makes more sense. I think more people should understand what makes them do bad things. Because then if you want to avoid the bad things, you can avoid the bad things better. And if you don't want to avoid the bad things, well, then you're a sinner. And you should avoid the bad things still. But yeah, it's 110F in Arizona, USA right now. I think, this is my favorite debate we get to have every year. Because it's really, really hot in the UK. And so this time, I genuinely get to say that I prefer it in the, you know, it's like 41. Okay, so like everything broke. Sorry about that. Look at that. My world crashed. It got a little purple black. Anyway, hello. Oh gosh, what? This is the weirdest crash I've had yet. No, my PC... I look like I'm from the future. I come from the year 2077. The water has run out. We had to upload our consciousness into digital beings just to survive. And heed this warning while you can. Why are there weird lines in it? I genuinely don't know how this happened. I've gotta remind them I don't want to see chat messages or... You know, actually, yeah, I don't know if I do want to play with that in mind. Yeah, I don't know why I'm purple or pink. I'm not sure which way around it is. But let's is everything good? At least it's saved. My world isn't broken. It could be worse. It could be worse. So okay, let's see what we can do about this. Oh, this okay. That's not useful. That I don't How was this? How did this happen? Okay, so yeah, I don't think there's any way I can change this. Yeah, this is just how I stream from now on. Hope that's okay. So yeah, I'm gonna pretend this was intentional, and we'll just all roll with it, okay? So yeah, this is my new advertisement series for my. Oh, you can't even. You can see the mug, but only a little bit. We will all die someday. Now available in purple, huh? Yeah, I think what I have to do is I have to plug and unplug my camera, maybe. I don't know which one of those plugs is it. We'll work it out, though. I'll just unplug things until it looks like I've done a good job. Is it a chunky cord? It's not the chunky cord. It's probably that one. Nope, it wasn't that. Okay, so it's probably this one. Was it that? It was that one. I think. I don't know what's happening right now, chat. I'm gonna level with you. I'm very confused. Unplug it and plug it back in. You're scaring the children. You know, have you ever considered how it's actually the children's fault for being born? You ever realize that actually, if they just didn't... Hey, I'm normal again! Hello! This is what I look like without green screen effects. And this is what I look like with them. If we just turn that on, because it thinks it's daytime. Ooh! Hello, I'm IBX Toycat, and I live stream. And sometimes, hey! Thank you for being the 3rd channel member today, Scout. It means a lot. It really does. Hello, Mr. Villager. What would you like to... Would you like me to give you some pumpkins in exchange for some of your money? I could totally do that. I totally could. And now he's max level, and I can buy melons off him. I think I'd much rather get a better deal from your boy over here, though. Seriously, 1 pumpkin per emerald? This is my workhorse of a trade. It usually is the children's fault. They're too soft these days. Can't handle a simple demon cat. Yeah, it has to be said. I mean, the real world's full of scary things. We should just let... You know, rather than this, like, horrifying experience where children just discover how the world is fake and everything they know has been a lie when they turn, like, 16 or whatever, we should just have a world where it's like, look, the world's awful and now you know about it, but at least it's not worse. And if you don't think it, if you think it can't get worse, then let me tell you about it, kids. That's how it should be. I would give a guy all my money if he came up with me with a sword named Big Salmon Revenger. I'm glad you like my sword's name. I think it's a fun bit. So, okay, any ideas for a Superflat project? One of the ideas I really want to play with is making a big sugarcane farm all the way around the edge. Honestly, the fun thing about farms that a lot of people don't stress enough is you can have a lot of fun, like, making them into interesting little designs, right? Child pops out and that's their first words. Yeah, I mean, like, we give children all this, like, oh, I love you, the world's so great, it'll be yours one day, all that nonsense. Instead, it should be like, hey, just so you know, you're being bad. You're being born at a pretty bad time right now. Inflation's at 11%, and you know, the economy's in the pisser. But you know, it's okay. You're gonna save us one day. If you just stop with that crying. Oh my gosh. No, there is a funny thing, right? I think I'm sure some people have the opposite experience. But my favorite adults growing up were always the ones that would treat me like an adult rather than like humoring me like, oh, how's it going, Jimmy? You know, like, you know, that like over the top thing. That's why, like, even though it was like a good business decision to make Minecraft videos where I go, hello everyone, how's it going? I'm gonna talk to you like you're a slow dog, because who's a slow dog? Who's a slow dog? Oh, you're a mentally handicapped dog. You know, like, the reason that I never, like, I always felt like it was just better when people spoke to you like a real person. Even when I was, like, 13, I'd prefer speaking with adults to speaking with people who'd be like, ooh, who's the... You know, there's an interesting difference there, right? Yeah, just catching you after hard work. Hope being back home has been great. Yeah, I've liked it so far. I went for a really nice bike ride today. There's a tube strike going on next week. That means, like, I realized, like, okay, rather than being caught out by it, I'll just make riding my bike my primary method for a bit. Like the unions or whoever is behind the strike, I'm not gonna claim to know about that. It's like they're basically saying, hey, if you rely on trains, we can ruin your life, and we'll just do it because we want to. You know, like, we can get more pay by ruining your life, and we're gonna take that one. And so I want to, like, put myself in the jurisdiction where the fewest people can ruin my life because they want to. Which is funny because I choose being a YouTuber, which is a profession where all it takes is, you know, a few people deciding to be offended, patronized. Yeah, I don't like feeling patronized, but like people do. Like people, you know, we have a whole word called patronized to imply like, yeah, this is a bad thing that sometimes happens. But the fact that there's so many children TV shows that non-stop patronize you tells me that actually, nah, that's not what people hate in the slightest. People love being patronized. They just don't like to realize they're being patronized. Which, I mean, maybe you could argue it's the same thing. It is totally true. Tadpole Bucket, Wandering Trader Trade, says SugarBoy87. Is that a real trade? I haven't heard of it if it is. It'd be nice if it was. I think there's a lot of trades. I've been working with the team at Toy Maps and trying to like work out like if we were gonna build, you know, like if we were gonna make our own custom Superflat to solve issues, what would we add to it? And all sorts of like extra fishes and biomes and stuff like that as something you do, because you can keep this idea if it's pure flat land while still making it much more interesting. Why do you sound like you have a philosophy degree? I haven't heard another Minecraft YouTuber talk like you before. I mean, if I wasn't, like, I think that philosophy is a cool subject. Because sometimes, you know, the debate about why we do things is much more interesting than the debate about the things we are doing. You know, like, I think... Also, Fixan, thank you. I think one of the annoying things that happens is whenever we're getting to the core of some really interesting, like, societal-wide issue, you know, we'll have, like, a weird story come out from the government where they're like, instead of actually making lives better, how about we have a big debate about who goes into whose bathrooms again? And people fall for it every time. Either you fall for it because you want to go, yeah, I think anyone should do, or you're like, no, it's, you know, like you might think that like, oh, it's the other people that overreact, but like statistically, there are some things where we lose our ability to have these deeper, you know, improving thoughts, and we immediately instead jump into like, I'm gonna instead, just, you know, it's like, I guess it's like, you know how you can be having this like deep, passionate debate about, you know, is there a real purpose to life, you know? What is the point? Why are we here? Are we achieving our purpose right now, etc., etc., etc.? And then someone goes, so do you want a, you know, I don't know, a chicken katsu sandwich Or do you want to have like a... We haven't... There's this... I'm having a barbecue. Can get you some picanha beef and some grilled halloumi. Ooh, halloumi. Is that a cheat? And you just immediately like, ooh, yeah. I'll have some of those. Or like, I think a better example is like, you know, you're having an argument with someone. If someone brings out pizza, you're gonna immediately start thinking about pizza instead of whatever it was you were doing before, right? Also, does getting paid to talk about these kinds of subjects, among other things, not make you a professional philosopher? I guess if you say it that way, I am a professional philosopher, huh? So as a professional philosopher, let me tell you all sorts of professional philosophy that you might not have known. Oh, I have to keep buying shovels from this fella. Yeah, I remember that. We're just gonna max out shovel count. Oh, you can just buy them and throw them on the ground. That's perfect. We'll throw the rest of these in a fire or something. Like a real fire. Actually, I'll throw them against a cactus. I think that's the level of destruction I've gotten to where I want this. And now I want pizza. Right, isn't it interesting that you can be like such a food connoisseur and like, ooh, I love food and I put it in a certain way. I do not know why this is how food connoisseurs speak, but it totally is. But the moments, you know, someone's like, oh, what about burgers? You'd be like, I could do a burger. Like, Hungry You has a more honest sense of taste than Not Hungry You, is my impression on this one. Okay, so we're mining through that a little bit. I think we'll probably have to fill at least some of this in, but we'll mix through that. But yeah, I think I think it is interesting that you can... Like you know, we all are trying to discover these same questions, but like the answers, they're too heavy, so we don't talk about them all the time. But I think it's interesting to try. So, Kat, what's your opinion on the ship of Theseus? Says Pantran. So, for those of you unaware, wow. By the way, we can go to We Will All Die Someday, ibxtoycat.store. Get yourself a great mug like the one I'm consuming right now. I'm not consuming the mug, but maybe I will, you know. But the ship of Theseus is this this ancient Greek boat. It set sail on a voyage, but then the rudder broke, so they replaced the rudder, right? Then once they replaced the rudder, the mast broke, so they replaced it. And so one by one, over the course of this voyage, they replaced every single part of the ship, right? Every single part became broken and replaced. And so there is an interesting argument that I think it's you know, it's much more a semantical argument than a physical one, obviously. But there's an interesting argument like, at what point did it become a new boat? Because none of the parts of the original remain. And it's interesting because everyone has their own slightly different take on this. Some people say that the boat is still the same boat, even though you've replaced all the pieces. Some people go a different direction and say, actually, yeah, that's not the same boat. When it changed, I can't tell you. But if every single part isn't identical, then it's not. Because you could take all of the discarded, you know, originals, and you could build a boat from them, right? You could build the original ship of Theseus. It wouldn't work, presumably, if they replaced it. But then what about if you do this with a human? If you take, you know, like you can replace your arms and still be human. Like a human that's lost their arms is still human, unless, you know, you want to go down a very dark rabbit hole. And so the interesting thing is, like, if you lose your eyes, and they're robot eyes now, and then you lose your fingers and replace those, you know, at what point are you a brain sitting inside a robot body? And then more interestingly, what if you replace your brain with a robot brain that still has your consciousness in it? You know, assuming that's possible, are you still the same you? You've got robot eyes, robot feet, robot toenails. I don't know why you'd need toenails as a robot. I guess, honestly, you know, that's the interesting thing that honestly starts to come up, is not one-to-one replacements, but improvements. You know, I think the thing that will encourage me to get robot eyes, or the thing that will encourage me to get a robot brain implant, is it being better than what I already have. That'd be really cool, right? That'd be really, really cool. Basically the logic of cyborgs. Yeah, are cyborgs human anymore? And if they're not human, at what point did they stop being human? if you start replacing parts of your body, at what point do you stop being you? Because there's a weird thing. What first time here and second opinion on End Switch mod. I've never heard of End Switch mod. Sorry. Thank you for the tip though. I really appreciate money. I use it to buy goods and services all the time. Like I wanted to buy some ice before this stream. Used money to do so. Ice is so cheap, by the way. It's this like modern miracle that you can be somewhere where it's too hot, and then you can just buy a thing that cools things down. I actually think, okay, I don't know if this would work, so can someone let me know? I want to buy like a giant like ice block the size of my room, and then leave it in there and see if it cools down the room. I guess it'd get the room very wet if it was going to cool it down. You know, maybe this is a bad idea. Here is a $5 for the next beef meal. Also, Myra V doesn't get the beef meal joke, even though I'm certain I've run it into the ground. I don't know why I'm doing this accent for this. It's clearly a US dollar tip, but I'm sticking with me accent anyway. Yeah, I definitely will be getting a beef. Actually, you know, today I had an opportunity for beef meal, and I didn't take it. What a waste. I think I might be getting beef meal tomorrow, though, so fingers crossed. You never know. I don't know about you, but ice isn't cheap here if you mean from the store. I was in Texas, and you could buy... I don't know what 7 pounds is in real units, but you could buy 7 pounds of ice for 99 cents. 79 cents, maybe? It was very cheap. It was, like, less than $1. And, you know, $1's like... You know, what can you buy with $1? You can't buy items from the dollar store anymore with $1. You know, that's the world we live in, huh? Oh my gosh. I don't know why it's not working. Okay, that's why it's not working. Not a lot of people from Ohio. Sounds like the Lucky Charms guy, but I appreciate the effort. I am not the Lucky Charms guy. I'm a pirate, apparently. I'm from the West Country. We love our land out here. We have combine oysters, and we have... Yeah, I'm just having fun at this point in life. Honestly, just doing accents and talking about the occasional philosophic quandary. I could be happy that way. Could be very happy that way. Dollar Tree has gone from $1 to $1.25. Oh, is it Dollar Tree, not the dollar store? My apologies. I like Dollar Tree a lot. I feel like that would be my store if I lived in America. Like, I'd also be fat for that reason. I mean, I'd be fat if I lived anywhere in America for too long. I'm having to like... Okay, here's what I don't get, is like... The best form of transport for basically every city, besides like 2, is driving a car. And it's so useful, but also you just sit down all day. And then you go to sit down at your desk job. And then once you're done sitting down at your desk job... Also, my controls reset to default. I'm gonna close and open Minecraft. They have Dollar Tree, Dollar General, and Dollar Store. More generic and not great. Yeah, I went to a dollar store in the middle of like Kansas or something. You want to hear road trip stories? You don't want to hear road trip stories. Please load as Toy Cat this time. No, don't lose my data forever. I value my data. Oh no, don't do this to me. No, don't be like this. Oh no, it's gonna be like this, isn't it? I don't wanna use the janky default controls. Okay, if I close it out and I open regular Minecraft. Yeah, we'll open regular Minecraft, it'll be fine. Dollar stores are more depressing than casinos. I like dollar stores and I like casinos, so... You're missing out, man. You're missing out on too much. Sometimes you just need to... Sometimes you need to realize the spectacle is sometimes the event itself. It's true. Sometimes just the... By the way, Minecraft, you may have to sign into preview again. Oh, is that all it was? Okay, let's try that. Minecraft itself isn't loading, which is concerning. I'll agree to disagree. No, yeah, the spectacle of... so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just minimize Minecraft. Hey, thank you!
I got my first Elytra yesterday. Hooray. Here is a money to celebrate.
Congratulations, Stipstitch. I think there's a lot of people who are, like, you know, at the early phases of Minecraft progress that really like... Yeah, congratulations to you. You're in, like, the 1 in 6 players who must have a legit one now. Congratulations. Really, really proud. Dollar stores will take less of my money than a casino. To be fair though, I mean, I guess unless you're shoplifting, you don't usually walk away from the dollar store with more money than you came in with. And so that's a fun. Whereas statistically, like 49% of the time, 48% of the time, I don't know what the ratio should be, but some percentage of the time, you should walk away with more money than you went in with. Okay, you know, actually, here's a funny. Okay, so I'm living in Vegas, so gambling is on my mind, as in like I see it, you know, like I'm just walking past gamblers, and so I see, you know, I apparently have. I don't know if I meant to say this publicly on the internet, but I apparently have a few members of my family who have had a gambling problem at some point in their life. That's a fun fact that I don't know what you're gonna do with. And so almost all of them had like pro tips for gambling, like, you know, like, okay, here's what you do. Here's like the foolproof technique, you know, like, I know, martingale strategy. There's all these weird things. I've never left a casino with more than I started with. Lol, says Michael D. I don't like telling this. I feel like it's one of those stories that's amazing in my mind, but not outside of it. But the first time I went to Vegas, I took all of the money I had for the week, and I was like, well, the most Vegas thing to do would be to bet it all on black and see what happens. And then it actually came up well, and then I may have done a second bet that was quite large afterwards, and then that might have come up well, and so I'm still up on casinos overall. Like I'm at an overall win, because whenever I lose money at casinos, I lose $5. Like I'm gambling $10 for the night, but whenever I win money at casinos, I'm gambling significantly different amounts. You know? Anyway, the house always wins. Yeah, that's a useful thing to remember with, like, I think the whole system is designed. Hi, can I have a shot out? Hello, Cheyenne Ahmad. How are you doing today? Hope it's wonderful. If it's not wonderful, what be going wrong? Also, it's so loud, right? Say to a cat, do you still do speedruns? I was thinking of getting back into them for 1.19. Figured it would keep fun. Also, oh gosh, what are you doing being born down here? Oh, that's awful. I'm gonna have to go put like some leaves or something over these gaps. I'll put pumpkins there, I guess. Just oh, there's only one that has that issue. Okay, so place the pumpkin there. I don't know how I placed two. And then we'll go kill the baby. Sometimes it's the best thing to do. But yeah, no. There's a funny thing where a lot of people can you know, the whole point of slot machines and of everything else is designed to make you think you've come up with an infinite money hack. It's weird how our brains work like that, but when we see something really effective, we want to repeat it, because having something effective doesn't mean anything if you can't turn it into more effective things. My Toy Cat hoodie just arrived. Here's my first tip, says Eroas Benz. Oh, I'd love to see it. If any of your merch arrives, please at IBX Toy Cat with it. It's crazy that it arrived so quickly. It's been like 5 days, maybe. I'm really happy for you. Well, I'm happy for, you know, I'm happy for everyone involved. I love gambling. I love spending $3.88 and getting $32. Yeah, that's the problem people who gamble will fall into. The reason it's such a terrible idea for most people is because their whole game is about psychologically tricking you into thinking you've come up with an infinite money hack. You know, and like the fact that if you look at Minecraft, you can see that people who like find like a, you know, like a duplication glitch love to use it. It'll make their time less fun, and it will like ruin the game for themselves, but they want to do it because, like, well, it's fun in the moment. You found this secret thing no one else knows, and so Xena's like, hey, yeah, if you press the button right, who knows? Maybe you get better money. If you know, like making you think that you did a thing because you are smart, because that's like a lot of our culture is kind of based around this idea that, yeah, the more money you rack up, you know, like at the very least it's societally desirable, but at the very most we go very crazy on it and we say that, like, ooh, yeah, you rack up a lot of money, you're smart because you know how to do it. And so people are like, oh yeah, I've never understood these stock things, but I understand that if I throw $100 in this machine, $200 pops out. Oh, it didn't pop out this time, but next time it will. And then that gets people into whole fallacy. Gamblers think they come up with a way to of an infinite money hack, but casinos are the ones that came up with it. Haha. Yeah, that's the funny thing, right? That is the funny thing. There's actually some really interesting psychology at play, because they've done studies on like rats, and if you look at lions, it's the same thing, or like cats. So like if you look at any animal, if two of them fight, and playing with each other and play fighting or whatever is a really common trait in animals for whatever reason. When two animals fight, by the way, this it's coming along nicely. When two animals fight or play, even if one of them is winning more, they'll continue to play. But if one of them wins all the time, then they won't continue to play. And so, let's say you want to... And so by convincing people they're doing well, they're winning when they're not winning, you know, like convincing people they're winning more than 50% of the time, when in reality they're losing a ton, is a really smart... Yeah, again, it's like Dasher says, it's an infinite money hack. Because just playing the odds, let's say we're betting on a coin flip, where every time it's heads, I get $2, every time it's tails, you get $1.99, but we both put in $2 at the start. I know that I'm gonna wait. We both put in $1.99 at the start. I don't know, but there's a lot of clever ways to do stuff. We Scots do like to play poker and Scabby Queen and other card games. I've never heard of Scabby Queen. I want to play some weird card games. I like card games. They're fun. I challenged Toycat to play vanilla Minecraft, no mods, on a single grass block. I saw a video, a really good one, that was like, theoretically, how far could we get with just one block? And I really, really like the premise of like, yeah, they took one block and they showed that you can go so far. It's really, really, really tricky to get past a certain point, but you totally can do it. You totally can. And I really enjoyed the premise behind it all. So yeah, let's go 2 blocks at a time now. Because I know I'm going to be going there anyway, so we might as well just save ourselves some time. 2 more blocks this way, and then 2 more blocks this way. Yeah, I think there is something interesting about like societal messages, let's say, because one card game I know of is Village Idiot. Is that where you just play as yourself? Aha! No, I like card games. Honestly, I think board games are underrated. Hot take off the day. But I think board games are underrated. I think we need to... I think we should expand the amount we do. There's a Monopoly card game. It's honestly horrible. I think there's something fun about weird card games too, though. Like, there's... I don't know what it is, but like, I think I've got this like attraction to novelty, you know? Where like, if something's new, it's fun for at least a little bit. You wanna play around with it a bit. There's just something fun about interesting and different. Like I played a Dungeons and Dragons card game, and it was so awfully put together. But I was like, ooh, it's got the same thing where like, ooh, I want to win. I wanna do well. I wanna see how these interactions play with each other. To play Village Idiot, you just sit down at the table. Ooh, Toycat is a bit bully, says Pantran. I'm sorry, Pantran. No, I appreciated your Ship of Theseus idea. See, look, I have memory. It goes back, further back. I don't understand poker. I'm not a good actor. See, this is the funny thing about poker. Okay, so I know it sounds like Toycat goes to Vegas and now all he's talking about is gambling, but poker is ostensibly a game of skill. It's the only casino game where if you're better than average, you will make money. I see you're $1.99 and raise you $7.99. Show up on stream like me by tipping on Streamlabs. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more awesome Toycat content. Hey, thank you so much, Michelle Owo. I find that tip very wholesome. I also find, isn't it weird the exchange rate of pounds to dollars? Like, apparently $7.99 is £6 something. I'm actually really fortunate. Can I share? There's been a few bad months on YouTube, so like your income goes down, but income goes down in US dollars, but the exchange rate's been going up the whole time, so I'm not making any less money. Like at some point it's gonna go the other way and my life is gonna be ruined, but for now, things are going just great. So my family's competitive. Everyone's screaming the rules at each other because nobody understands. Are you just like, I just want to play a fun card game. I just wanna get along and have a good family socializing event. That is funny to imagine. That is funny to imagine. Yeah, so the interesting thing about poker is like everyone always talks about like, oh, you've got to make sure you don't have tells to play poker. If we're being honest, for most people, all you've got to do is not react to your cards. Like there is a really deep level strategy that is like, you know, you've got to hide when you look excited because you might have a certain look that shows you've got a good hand or whatever. But especially when you're new at poker, you probably can't even spot a good hand very easily. You have to do a lot of maths and putting it together. And so like, yeah, you don't have to worry about your tells. I think poker, the best way to learn it is like play with some friends, use fake money or use a very tiny amount of real money, like, you know, a pound, a dollar, 60 rubles, whatever it is. And I think you can have a lot of fun because it is a game where like it's almost like a truth-based game where like you've got to you're making bets on these communal cards that you know, whatever. I'm not gonna explain poker. I think it's interesting though. I love watching. One of my like weird guilty pleasures is I watch like poker tournament hands or like whatever, and it'll be crazy because at the very top level of this game, people are betting like 50k on a single hand. And so it's like if they get this right, they win 50k. If they get it wrong, they win 50k. Except it's even crazier than that because if you win the 50k, that now means you're doing really well at the tournament, and just it's very crazy stuff. It's very crazy. I watch a lot of poker clips. There's some crazy stuff that's gone down. It's so loud, right? What the heck is wrong with you, Minecraft? Are the controls not fixed? They're not. I pissed. Oh, and that means the music volume is set to. Oh my gosh. I would like to go deaf. Thank you for asking. Yeah, no, that's painful. I don't like that Minecraft does that to you sometimes. Poker, I hardly know her. Has anyone made this joke already? Says Scoopsky Cat. I don't know how no one made that joke already. Thank you for being the first to make it. Yeah, no, I think Minecraft has a problem. It had it on the console edition, so I don't actually know what the cause is. The music is far too loud. You know, it's kind of exhausting. But yeah, thanks for turning it down. You're welcome. Way ahead of you. Wasn't that loud for me? Strange. You know what's weird? The music volume slider like barely works correctly. Oh man, there was someone talking behind the Minecraft music. Boo. I can't believe someone would go in there and they would start talking instead of letting me listen to Minecraft. What was the point? Is there a bed in here? There's not a bed in here. Actually, wait, I've got a slab I want to get rid of, so I'll just place it down in here. Oh, I don't have pick block right now. See how hard life is without pick block? Do you see how I could have just used one button to do that? No, that's so frustrating, and I'm not even going to fix it immediately because I'm dumb. Will you build a city? No, I like the idea because, you know, we've got a really good place for building a city. A really good, you know, like starting ground. But yeah, also Minecraft music on legacy consoles is unbearably loud. Yeah, you can tell me that again. I mean, don't tell me it again. It'd be a waste of your slow mode. But yeah, it's also it's possible to win a round of poker just by wagering more than anyone else is comfortable with. Yeah, that's the that's one of my favorite mind game aspects of poker. Is you can have the worst hand, but if everyone else thinks you have the better hand, or they're just not convinced they have the best hand, at least I should say, you can still win. Like, the most satisfying feeling in the world is when you have a garbage hand and you just figure, what if I make some money on this? And so, but like, once you do that and you fail and you get like called out and everyone's like, hey, you didn't actually have any money, huh? Or so you didn't have any good cards. Now people don't start to trust you and they start to think like, this is a guy who's going to do that. And just, whatever. It gets very interesting very quickly. Check out talking about mind games. Yeah, I guess I like mind games on that level. Any sport or activity where there's a level of that is always going to be interesting, right? Also, I love that it resources up now. That's real nice. Okay, so we were here not to get water, but to get mud, right? So this is going to be the logical endpoint. I don't know precisely where around here, but it'll be around here. So now we're going to make this nice and deep. Or I guess it should go from deep to shallow. It should go from, yeah, deep at the start, shallow at the end. That's what I think. Poker is usually a drinking game here, as in we are drunk when we play. There's a funny joke in here about, like, in Scotland, isn't that all games? See, very funny of me. Won't make it. We'll resist the low-hanging fruit for now. Oh, he likes mind games and mind games, says Charvy Gun. It's a funny way to put it. I like mind games and mind games. Yes, it's true. Also, I think now we've widened it in most places. We should be able to now go up and look. And it should look pretty darn cool, I hope. Do you think Mojang will listen to your video about bedrock structures on a flat world? I think eventually they're going to have to add Superflat as a system. I've heard interesting things about Superflat on Bedrock. I think ultimately the way Superflat works on Java isn't what they would add if they were going to add it today. But it's annoying when they say that because it's like, but is that how we should be deciding what we add today? Okay, so chat. We are an hour into today, plus, I don't know, was it 2 hours last Saturday? But look at this. Isn't this satisfying? I have to go into use the D-pad right now. Isn't that just so satisfying, seeing the rivers, like, go the entire way around? Do you like that? I really enjoy it. Okay, so now I'm going to go to my controls. I hate fixing controls, but if Minecraft crashes, you got to go do it. Up sensitivity a little bit. Up this, for sure. And now we're going to go play around with controls. So, sneak fly down should be right stick. Toggle stick. No, wait, that's... Okay, left stick, yep. Then we should have emote. I don't really need emote, actually. I guess I could keep emote. So up on the D-pad for this. Open chat there. Open notifications / mob effects. Sure, whatever. And then I think drop item needs to be B. There we go. That means I have a spare slot on my D-pad, so I'll use, I don't know, walk backwards. Okay, that's not very useful. You ever played Switch, says Cat Beanie? I really like a couple of games on the Switch, but I don't like it as a system. Like, it never has the battery I need. Like, whenever I bring it somewhere, it's dead by the time I'm trying to use it. It's just not a great system. Also, Angsty Melon, I consume a lot of your content for free. Here's my Toy Cat tax. Hey, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. I'm glad you like all of my content. That is, like you say, free of charge. You know what else you could do? Tipping is great, and I value that more because it's a direct thing. But if you'd like, and you want to support the new merch thing, you wanna get yourself a We Will All Die Someday mug. It tastes like the knowledge of our thing. I meant the card game. Oh, Switch like a I've never heard of Switch the card game. That is interesting that there is a card game called Switch. You know, Nintendo should sue. Really. I still bring my 3DS everywhere with me, even though I have a Switch, says Brandon TGS. Yeah, my 3DS, it's actually right behind me. As you can see, I've got this. I haven't turned this on in years. Oh gosh. But I've got my 3DS still. It's so dusty. It's a cool looking console, but it's got such a low resolution screen that it's not fun to play. Like, it looks like arse. Oh, actually, this is a Nintendo DS Lite I have here. This isn't mine. Look how tiny the screen was on this thing. Look at the size of this. It's like, I don't know how to measure this, honestly. It's like it's about the size of a We Will All Die Someday mug. That's how tiny the DS Lite is. Yes, I got a new 3DS XL. I was a little disappointed. It didn't come with a charging cable. Because they just assumed that everyone buying one would have a 3DS already. But I didn't. The monsters. DS Lite was 192p, 3DS was 240p. Yeah, it was two 240p screens, you know, because it's 3D or whatever. But still, that was just like so depressingly bad. Okay, so now here's what we do, right? We spam left trigger, right click, whatever you want to call it, on some dirt, and then we do it. Get your DS size mugs here. Wow, have you ever wanted a mug the size of a Nintendo DS? I bet you have. Hey, Angela Van Kumpenhout, thank you very much. I'm glad. I like your the positivity that you are spreading to me today. I haven't fed my Nintendogs in 10 years. I think they're all dead. There's a game, I think it's like Fable. There's this part of the game where you just collect rent for owning properties, and it's like very overpowered. But like if you don't play the game for a while, the rent from all those days builds up. I would love to go on there now and see like how much rent built up over the last 15 years. GBA SP Gang Rise Up, says Pantram. I had a Game Boy too. I upgraded from, okay, this is like me as a dumb teenager, oh not teenager, like 10-year-old who just didn't know stuff. I didn't realize the Game Boy Advance SP was just a Game Boy, but it could fold. And so I was so excited to get one. And then I got it and I realized, oh, it's just a slightly better looking, you know, Game Boy. And there's just something about me that I was like, ah. You know, it was the first time in my life where I was like, I'm an idiot. I bought a thing and I didn't even realize that it was just the same thing I already had. I almost, I bought an Xbox like 6 months before an Xbox 360 came out too, which was one of those similarly dumb decisions. You know, this is, we always make fun of like, oh, I can't believe mothers didn't know that a, you know, a Wii U is not just an add-on for the Wii. But like ultimately, yeah, like if you're really enthusiastic about something, like I can tell you about the difference between, you know, like the various levels of Hoover that of vacuum cleaner that I have. I've got a Hoover, and I can tell you what you get when you go up a level, down a level, etc., etc. But a lot of people are just like, oh, it's a wireless one, and it's cheap, I will buy it. Or, oh, it's a wireless one, I want the expensive one, I'll buy it. And it's weird because, yeah, you have to be like an expert in like anything you want to buy if you want to buy it, right? And that is a bit counterintuitive. Like, why should you have to learn what Nintendo calls all their consoles just to buy one? Gen Zs are definitely very confused. You know, have they ever considered not being Gen Zs? You ever think about that? Also, I think a river doesn't look natural if we, like, have it be... Yeah, I think what we have to do is have it be both sides, like, one high and then a 2 wide depth in the middle, right? I think that's the only way this is gonna really work. iRobot Sucklow, even the $1,200 one, I literally can't vacuum dog hair on my carpet. It's funny because the idea is so solid that it beats even the poor execution, if that makes any sense. Like, I'm so invested in the idea of having a robot automatically... Also, isn't Toycat technically Gen Z? Yeah, I am Gen Z. I'm... Depending on your definition, I can be both Gen Z and a millennial. Don't know why you're trying to Gen Z shame me right now. Gen X? What's before... You know, I guess it would be millennials before. It's weird that millennial is used to mean, like... not young anymore, right? Like, it's not the youngest group in society. That's like, that is a strange concept for me to wrap my head around. But yeah, no, so here's what you have to do. Here's the pro tip for robot vacuums. Don't see it as a, don't see it as like, oh, it doesn't do the same as me. Because what you want it to be, right, is you want it to be as good as if you're hoovering, but to save your, or vacuuming, but you're saving your effort, because who wants to vacuum all day every day? Not you, the discerning consumer. But instead, you've got to see it as like a you got to see it as better than not hoovering. Like, sure, you're gonna have to hoover, but now you can do it less. The basics are taken care of for you by this silly machine on the ground. And so yeah, I'm Gen Z, but don't class myself as that because I don't like Gen Z. I think not liking, or liking even, is just as silly. A whole generation is probably not very useful by any means. Okay, so let's throw these in the water. Okay, here's my genius plan. I'm going to split the mud into lots of blocks. And now I can't pick up the shovels, I can only pick up the mud. Boom. I thought millennials are currently 25 to 30, and anyone younger is Gen Z. You can Google it if you want. Tell me what you find if you do. But I believe Gen Z is generally considered to be like, yeah, Zoomers, right? 1995 to now, whereas millennial can be anywhere up to the millennium, which is 1999. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Because obviously you can't define it on age, because age is changing. It's going to be birth years. So, like, I think the baby boomers are just after World War II. After 1960, it becomes Gen X. After 1980, it becomes Gen Y. Or maybe, wait. No, I messed that up. You know, why do we even pretend that generations make any sense? Like, there's no solid generation of people, right? Because if you're 1 year late to be a millennial, it doesn't mean you're not in similar with millennials. If you're 1 year late to be it, you know, like, doing it by a single year seems silly to me. But maybe I would say that because I'm just silly. So yeah, we're going to take another diamond shovel. Because we have to start combining these anyway, right? Yeah, let's actually do that right now. Let's take broken shovel. Let's take not broken shovel. And let's make extra not broken shovel. Last I checked, anyone born between 1995 and 2012 is Gen Z. What comes after Gen Z? I've heard like Gen Alpha. See, this is gonna be the funny thing, right? Like there's such a difference. Like the divide between generations is growing faster because technology means that you can like self-segregate better. If that makes any sense, I'm not sure if it does. But you can now much more effectively only expose yourself to other people who are in that same generation that you are. You can only ever see what other Zoomers think. You can only ever see what other millennials think. A lot of people get into this bubble. Like, it's funny, old people, right? Old people will co-videos. Yeah, the younger you are the younger you were during COVID, the more weird your life is gonna be as you try to work out what the heck happened. Right? Because there are children that like, you know, there were children born that only saw their parents for 2 years. They didn't see anyone else. Like, what does that do? I don't know. I genuinely, I'm not. It's we did a huge social experiment because also there's like 4 or 5 year olds who would be making their first friends who didn't, right? They lost. It might have happened later, but their whole development is off course by a year. There's a lot of teenagers who would have been, you know, going out and having, you know, silly house parties, but they want to be responsible, or, you know, they have no choice but to be because of their parents or whatever. And so, you know, now everything is different, right? It's very, very interesting once you dive into it a little bit. Okay, so if we remove this dirt, let's just also say that one, this mud, and then we make it a little bit wider on this side. How do you like that, chat? Does this look like a natural river yet? We'll just kind of make a big line through the center. We'll keep on turning it into mud first. We looking like a real river yet? Yeah, a little bit. Not really. Yeah, I know. I think it's so weird that we're basically doing a giant social experiment just all of the time. Just that's basically what we do as society. Like, oh yeah, what is the best solution to getting out of a giant debt? And also, thank you very much, by the way, Lisa, for 26 months of membership. What is the solution for it's an age off? Make it wider. Yeah, I think it has to be wide. I think this wide is probably about fine. What if I make a little width gap in the middle of this? Okay, maybe that'll save things here. I'll make a whole row of it. Okay, let's see if that helps out a lot. Because again, it shouldn't be too boxy, right? That's what we're trying to avoid. But I don't want to have it be 3 deep in too many places either. Okay, so if we widen it on this side now, as we will, so we'll just have all of this go out. And then after that goes out, we'll have all of this go out. And hopefully just the act of doing that alone will bring us something somewhere, maybe? Nope, that looks terrible. Do we have to place some water there? There we go. What do you reckon, chat? Is this a okay, old folks, send Toy Cat some pension money? Yeah, if you're old, you basically owe me some of your pension. If you are at the okay, so this is my hot take, right? The older you get, the more able you are to spend money on things. And so things that are funded on a proportional basis or on a can afford to pay basis, ideally you should be spending more money on. You know, whether that means like, I don't know, tips, you know, I mean in general, but I guess I call these tips. Whether that means tips, whether that means like when there's something that's free but it's like donations appreciated, give it a donation, you know, if you think it's worth it at least. And so yeah, if you're watching right now, got yourself that your working life's about to end, you're doing pretty well, you appreciate this stuff, give Toy Cat money, because the marginal value of money to me is very fun at this point. If you give me money and then watch a third channel video about how poorly I spent it, you'll enjoy this vicariously living my life basically. Okay, so we're gonna dig one extra layer out all the way on this side and see where that takes us. I'm not sure where it will take us, but it will be fun to find out. It's a shame, like, going through so much effort to make a perfect circle and then basically just deciding, like, yep, the circle now is not going to be perfect. I mean, it already wasn't perfect. We messed up somewhere. But it's going to be extra not perfect now. So do we... Yeah, I guess we remove those as well. Or maybe we already removed these. I'm not even sure. A real river looks just like Buddy Holly. I'd look for money to get, but I don't have any, says Charbigon. Okay, so this is why my new series is going to be getting your life together, so that you can give money to your favorite internet strangers. No, more seriously, thank you for even the thought. Actually, you know, I don't actually appreciate the thought. I think one of the thoughts I'm like so over is like, oh, if I had money, I'd give it to you. And it's like, well, the fact that, you know, the real appreciation that comes from money is like, oh yeah, I got my life in a place where I could do it, and then I did it. Like, wanting to do stuff and then not. Like, imagine saying the same with time. Like, oh, I'd really like to help you move, but I'm busy today. If you want to help me move, make yourself unbusy. Otherwise, it's just being polite, you know? I know I have that frustration. I've mentioned before I have a friend who's, like, very flaky. I actually, I had a good, like, speak to him about it recently. Because he was basically admitting that he wanted to, like, flake on someone. And I was like, okay. So rather than waiting till the last minute, what you should do is you should tell them now. Because they'll appreciate not having to wait and say something to you and then you doing it then. Because it's pretty tempting. Like,
my pension.
Hey!
Futurama meme here.
Thank you very much, Dazed and Confused Sean. See, if everyone just gives me their pension, then I can load it into my pension, and then future me can use my pension to tip streamers, and then, yeah, we can make an endless circle of something the economy. Here's my old person tax. Glad you're back, Toy Cat, says Chris Buck. Hey, thank you for being glad I'm back. I'm glad that you're glad that I'm back. Yeah, you ever think about that? You ever think about how glad your gladness makes me? Yeah, I want to help you as long as you don't need to be helped. I think that's just a really funny thing about, like, wanting to do something but not going through the steps to do the thing, you know? Because it's like, yeah, of course, that's what we all are. You know, wanting to do things is only half of the equation. I don't know, I sometimes roll into this, and I think it's hard to... I actually understand why it's hard, to be honest with people. Also got an extra £2 my Google account. Hey, thank you for the £2. I do appreciate it. You know what I'll use it for? Okay, so you wanna know my terrible goal. My next bad spending of money. I want to spend $58 on afternoon tea. For the sake of... I don't even know, like, what you would get at that point. Like, how good can sandwiches get? They can't get $58 good, right? That's too much. But I wanna have the fun time of criticizing or maybe enjoying. But it'll be fun either way. Google Rewards hasn't been as curious about me. Whenever I get a new phone, it never like gives me opinion rewards, and I kind of just like don't notice or care. It's a whole thing. But yeah, you know, like if I say like, oh yeah, I really want to go, it doesn't mean anything unless I like carve time out in my day, put some you know, money in the schedule. You know, like that's a lot of money. Gonna have to stream and do whatever else it is that I do for a living for a little bit to make that happen. And then I'm gonna have to go to the place. I'm gonna have to like call them in advance because it's a reserve. But like, yeah, I wanna eat. I wanna eat expensive. How often do you get a new phone, says Interstar? Every couple of years. I've had my current phone for like 2.5 years, so I'm gonna upgrade soon, I think. Honestly, it used to be 2 years between phones. You'd get like a really cool, great, grand upgrade. 2 years between phones is like, oh yeah, we added another camera and another 2 to the name. That's about all. But you could give us money and we would, you know, like use it for things maybe. I don't know. I hate spending money. I dread doing a grocery shop because maybe because my mom was a horrible spender, but still, says Audrey Bella. Audrey, I feel you so bad on that one. I had someone in my very close family who was a terrible spender or was terrible with money. And it's like, it's really, really hard to like get out of just like, oh, I hate spending. It's, you know, seeing I think the logic is you're seeing all the bad things that happen when you're bad at spending. And so you don't know how to avoid it. So you're just like, if we just don't spend, that'll have the exact same result. Okay, so I'm going to be very careful about this. I'm worried about throwing something wrong into the cactus. Let's throw my stone shovels away. And we're good to go. Also, I cooked some steak earlier, but I forgot about it. So I guess it just went on the floor. I like to believe the cat ate it. We're all fine. I'm allergic to bread. Eat a fancy sandwich for me. Nom nom, says Angsty Melon. How are you allergic to bread? That's like the one food that all humans can enjoy. You know? Like, we have split opinions on beef meal. You know, like, is ramen good? Split opinions. But, I'm celiac, lol, says Charlotte Marks. You know, that's what a doctor would tell you if they want it. Wouldn't it be a funny prank to be like, if you eat bread, you will die? And like, I bet her whole life she's not going to try a sandwich. I know there's gluten-free bread, by the way. Honestly, gluten is important, though. Like, going gluten-free is worse than going, like, basically any other dietary restriction. Like, if you want to cut out milk from your life, relatively easy to do, especially nowadays. You want to cut out gluten from your life, and it's like, I hope that you're willing for everything to be worse and cost more. Like, I think, basically every intolerance out there. Ooh, I want ramen now. Yeah, every time I think about ramen, I think about how good that egg is, you know, the one that, and then like you get in some real nice noodles, and then the broth at the end, it's like having a soup, but you've also had noodles. It's, I would love a ramen right now. Why am I not eating ramen right now? Why am I streaming Minecraft instead of eating ramen? I don't even know what's wrong with me. Sugar-free is the hardest diet ever, says Dasher. Yeah, I think I've basically concluded I'm very slightly shortening my life with sugar. Because I eat, like, well in excess of what a normal amount is. But I get so cranky and, like, low energy when I don't eat sugar. And I'm sure after enough time it'll change. But, like, I can't afford to have a whole month of my life where I'm boring and where my life is boring and where I don't want to be alive. You know? Like, so I can't order some ramen, says Brandon TGS. I already had dinner. I've been trying my best to not order food in. I go out and get food, which is a whole different thing. Because if you go and get the food, it's, you know, it feels more like hunter-gathering and less like, I don't know, being lazy. Anyway, so, I agree. Like, no sugar just makes life not worth living. It's like, I will eat the veg. Anyway, so I had dinner. I've been trying to eat food myself. I just threw like half a can of Spam, some asparagus, and like, I don't know, half a potato in the air fryer. I've been loving, air fryers, by the way. Life pro tip. It's food on easy mode. You know, why are you all playing on hard mode? Well, this whole time, you could be avoiding it, and all you gotta do is Also, I like the way the river's extending as we're going through here. Yeah, you can play life on easy mode. You just throw food in, it happens. I cooked a spam is underrated everywhere but Hawaii. Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree with you that spam is underrated besides Hawaii. I ate mainly sugar restricted for 2 months and had a milkshake and it put me in the worst mood ever. See, that sounds even worse, that when you get back to drinking sugary drinks, it's also terrible. Sugar's addictive, that's why American companies put it in everything. Well, that's the funny thing, is they worked out the same effect can come from, I don't understand how corn syrup works, but the same effect comes from it, right? And so actually you've just got corn in everything, which is the funniest thing to me. I'm eating spam from the chippy right now, it's good. Your chippy does spam? Oh, I'd love a spam fritter. Honestly, deep frying is also, like, relatively easy. I should give it a try. I don't understand why corned beef is so expensive. Yeah, I think spam is pretty cheap, right? It's only, I find spam to be affordable. I buy spam in bulk because it's one of those few things. It's one of those few things that, like, you can have in your cupboard forever. Because I used to... Most chippies up here, Deuce is frozen. Okay, where am I going? Chippy? Do you mean Binley Mega Chippy? You know, the Binley Mega Chip... Okay, you know, this is one of those, like... Toy Cat doesn't like popular internet things. It's just... You know, like, there are people going to that place and then being like, ah, it's just a regular chippy. And it's like, well, I mean, is it not a Mega Chippy? Is it not? I don't understand it fully. Okay, so I don't have a hoe. I don't know why I don't have a hoe on me right now. Oh, I'm gonna buy one, so it's fine. We're making the upgrade today. It takes some time, it takes some doing. But look at this. Also, I love this name, I have to say. So first of all, we're gonna spread out our mud, because we're about to buy some shovels. Actually, where is he? Where's my shovel dude? There he is, he's in that corner. So we'll grab a little extra shovelage from him. Oh, I can't today. But look, I can buy a diamond hoe soon. I'm excited for it. I wonder what food would taste horrible with bread. Do they even exist? It's like rice. Every food is just better with rice. Try and find examples where it's not. I challenge you. But yeah, spam and saltine crackers is the perfect snack for fishing trips on land or on a boat. Yeah, the thing about spam that makes it great is it's so easy. You can eat it raw, right? If not, I've been doing it. Man, I've got some spam sitting in my fridge. I'm just gonna take snacks at it later. Ah, I need to prep potatoes. I never buy potatoes myself because I'll cook one and then be done for like a few days. I think I might do some later actually though. I think I'd enjoy that. You know, Toy Cat cooks potatoes is gonna be the latter half of my evening now. Anyway, as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, I have a Mending Fortune free hoe in Harrison's Flatwild. Oh, I clearly need to go check it out. Realm visits are planned for tomorrow. Yeah, okay, everyone was always complaining like, oh, there's not enough notice. And so this time I was like, I made it so clear. Okay, here is all the notice in the world. Here is all the notice a person could need. You've got a whole week to get your stuff in order. Buy a realm if you want to. Don't buy a realm if you don't want to, but that's, yeah, it's a whole thing. First time I tried spam was from a store named Heritage. Strange, it's a gaming shop with a movie and book section. I think it's, I think that sort of place is cool. I like that those are existing now. When I was a teenager, I'd have really appreciated more stuff like that. I'm just saying. I'm glad, like, honestly, like, this is a funny thing. I think the internet partially does to people. But, like, nerd is, like, a fine and cool category of person now, right? As opposed to, like, oh, nerds, they're the worst. You know, liking sports is almost just as weird or just as valid as... You're not allowed in my long-term survival realm anymore, haha. What did I do last time? Probably wasn't good. Shouldn't water touching a dirt block immediately make it mud in real life? Yeah, I mean, I understand why they didn't do it. But, like, isn't it a bit strange that the way that we turn this dirt into mud is we use a bottle of water on it? What sense does that make? The answer is none. But yeah, it's a very weird and interesting thing. Okay, so now I'm gonna take. Should I take mud or should I take dirt to build a little mountain, chat? What do you reckon? I definitely want to do one of those. Being called a nerd is someone saying you're smarter than me, and I don't like that. Yeah, right. Smart has been seen as a good thing. My theory on the change is that now, like, nerds can, you know, like, you start a tech company or you just work for a tech company, you earn 6 figures. I don't know if I included this in the video, but while I was talking about how, like, you know, we're blaming frontline developers when there are people whose job it is to manage this that are not managing it. While I was talking about that for a video, I found out the funny fact that the average Minecraft manager gets paid less than the average Minecraft developer. If you write the code for the game, you get paid more than the people who are managing you, which is like it's counterintuitive, right? It's not how most organizations work, but it's how Mojang works. Yeah, so like if you know if you're dating like or if you're dating, if you're looking at two people, one's like a you know like good with people manager, he's earning less than the guy who like sits there all day with his you know I don't know what nerdy things, his D&D hat on, coding the game. I think that's fascinating. Bedrock River. Honestly, the river being made of bedrock would be a funny little portmanteau. It makes sense though, since programmers require much more skill. Yeah, it's just it's a inverting of hierarchy, right? Like for most, like we traditionally associate that like if you are in we base pay based on hierarchical things like your manager's manager makes more than your manager, and his manager, like, you know, as you go up the hierarchy, you earn more. But there are more and more cases where it's not true. If there is a shortage of programmers, and there still is, then now programmers make more. And it's a whole thing. Can't play D&D without your D&D hat. Exactly. He's got a little witch's hat on. I've got a witch's hat. I'm a programmer, but I'm not great at it, says Hexateron. Yeah, I've got this... What just happened to me? I've got this same problem. Like, I really wanted to get into programming, just because I wanted to make a game, honestly. But, D&D's nuts, says James Weston. I haven't heard that joke before. I can't believe it, either. I don't know how it's possible. But I have not. So I think I'm going to build the mountain, like, here. I don't know what the mountain's going to look like. I'm just going to start and kind of build out. So this is my mountain. I guess we'll make it like evenly shaped. So it can go this many blocks this way, which means we can go like a similar amount this way. And then that means we can make it like a triangle-y shaped mountain. No, we'll make it the same on all sides. So then it goes a similar amount this way. Oh wait, this has to go. I'm dumb about this. Okay, never mind. You know, this is fine. So I can't do control ASMR. Let's do it. Let's do it. Good, right? That's good. Yeah. Good clicks, Toycat. Thank you. I do my best sometimes. I really do my best. And sometimes my best isn't good enough. But sometimes like that. You can clearly tell it is. Programming sounds like a frustrating job from what I've heard. It's constant trial and error over and over and over again. Yeah, you have to have a certain brain for it, right? You have to... Like... Okay, something that people love from most jobs is you just do your job the same and the same and the same and the same again. And that's like our happy place as humans. Is just, all I have to do is the same thing I've done before, but like again. It doesn't require much brain capacity. It doesn't require too much of anything. You just kind of make it happen. Also, I'm thinking of making like a... The water has to flow down this mountain, because it's going to be like a waterfall. So it's a whole thing. Also, my favorite stone has to be the stone placing sound. Yeah, it is very satisfying on Bedrock, I have to say. There's no argument from me that it's not satisfying. More and more and more dirt. Sir, do you play console or PC? If you don't mind answering this important question. I prefer not to comment on matters of this type. Sonically charged streak. It's a cheap bamboo one. Man, Mark Jackson, I read so many comments from you and it's like, I don't know how you got there. I guess you're clearly talking in chat to someone else. But I get confused sometimes still. My favorite placing block sounds is Never Bricks. Oh yeah, Never Bricks. You know, I agree, Hexateron. That is top notch. That is absolutely top notch. Yeah, personally I like the Amethyst sounds. Okay, you know, Amethyst is cheating. That's like a normal thing. That's like we're all talking about like, ooh, do you like, I like, you know, ice cream that's flavored like, I don't know, pistachios. And you're like, I like chocolate. And it's like everyone likes chocolate. But we're talking about complex. We're talking about interesting. Geez, I'm just kidding. It's fine. Deep Slate's a total vibe though. I feel bad now. You know, see there's an interesting thing about that. Also, if you were to make a game, what game would you make? A bad one. A bad one. I do not like chocolate ice cream. You definitely like chocolate ice cream. You just haven't tried. You haven't tried the right chocolate ice cream, right? Yeah. Oh, it's so hot, by the way. Okay, you know, this is the funny thing. Like, being in the UK in the summer is way hotter than being in southern Nevada where it was 12 degrees hotter. Because everything's AC'd there. I don't have AC in this room, and I don't think I will for, like, another year plus. And just, I need to, like, buy like, a lot of ice. I want to just put my head in some ice occasionally. Because it's a shame, like, I want to do some real long streams. Like, I was thinking, what do you reckon, chat, about this idea? I figured it might be fun to do a you know, sorry, my brain. I figured it would be fun to take the Deep Dark Only world and stream an entire like session of it all at once. If it's too hot, you should change into a maid outfit. I hear they're very breezy. That's true. They've got plenty of gaps on them. My job had a strawberry lemonade milkshake that was strawberry ice cream and lemonade blended, and it was god-awful. Something I despise. You're busy, so I chat with chat quite often. Hey, okay, that's fine. What am I busy doing? Excuse you. I can't deal with strawberry ice cream. It's bottom notch. Also, damn the migraine, I'm having a beer. Yeah, quite a few people liked the 1 week Deep Dark Survival. I was thinking of doing another one. Maybe I've already done another one. Triple digits, cope well, guys. Yes, okay, now, because I'm so hot, I'm failing the thing I wanted to do earlier, which is take time before reading, responding, or even commenting on things. So let's do our best with that. Yeah, how's the weather going, Internet? It's going pretty well over here. Thank you for asking. It's been a very, very warm, unseasonably warm season, actually. I don't think you can have an unseasonably warm season, but you totally can. I want a good vegan mint choc chip, but I can't find it anywhere. I don't know if this helps you, but yeah, it definitely helps you. There's a place called Craig's in Resorts World in Las Vegas, and they have a mint choc chip ice cream. 110 degrees F heat index in Mississippi. No, everyone who complains about heat in America, you don't get to do it. You have widespread air conditioning. As soon as I have air conditioning, you'll stop hearing me complain about the heat, besides for fun. I'm actually dying right now, you know? My window is open. I'm gonna open my window wider. I'm gonna see if that helps me. Oh, it's nice out here. Oh, this is the life. Why am I playing Minecraft when it's this cold out here? Oh. It's funny that heat makes you tired. Do you know that that's true, chat? I don't know if you do. But because heat makes people tired, what planes will do on like long haul flights is once they've like served the food, they turn up the temperature, and they know that puts people to sleep, so they can like, you know, I guess they can also, you know, like, ooh, it's good for the passengers' well-being. It means they can do less, you know, flight attendant stuff. They don't want to be asked for drinks and everything else. AC does not solve all problems. My son had to take out the trash earlier. Or it must have been such a long walk from the AC'd house out to the end of your driveway. I guess in America, driveway might be long enough that it's like, yeah, I had to bring a snack and food with me to make it to the other side. So let's go to bed. I should bring a bed out here with me, really, shouldn't I? How about we just kill the sheep? That didn't work how I was intending it to. Where I live, the AC isn't working because of brownouts. The power is flickering because of the heat. Senator Stephen Armstrong, where do you live that you get brownouts? My God. You know, we have very expensive electricity, but at least it turns on when you want it to. Costa Berry Cooler will sort you out. Oh yeah, I love cold. See, this is the thing. I like summer. It's the one time of year where everyone else agrees with me that cold drinks are better. The thing I don't get, though, is, like, where we live, we have to walk to the dumpster about a block away. That's very strange. I wonder... I can't imagine life being like that. Like, my bin is... If I throw things from my front door, I have a 95% success rate of hitting my bin. It could be more. I could move my bin and it would still be collected. I don't want to dox myself, but I don't have any form of, like, front... anything. Like, my front door is to the outside world. I mean, I guess that's everyone's front door, but you know what I'm saying. And so I can, like, you know, I could have it so I don't have to leave the house to, like, dump things out there. Senator Armstrong, canonically, is from Colorado. Imagine living without any trash to put in dumpsters. Okay, what I like the most, I love apartment buildings because they have these, like, trash chutes. I don't want to dox myself, but my address is 9472 West. You know, American addresses, right? Aren't they the craziest thing? Also, lukewarm drinks are the best. They don't make your throat sore. If your throat is getting sore from cold drinks, someone needs to, I don't know, be nice to you and sing you nice songs or something. Okay, we just need to get some water and have it flow here. Goes out front door into traffic. Yeah, okay, so I don't live in a house like this, because it, like, kind of... I don't know why it feels so wrong to me, but there are houses where I used to live, up in the Shires, and your front door would be onto the pavement, so you'd have a meter or so of pavement, and then there'd be a car. If you did a roly-poly, what do you call it? A somersault? If you do one of those things, out onto the pavement, you would roll onto the road and die. It's very interesting. I always found that just horrifying. Like I think front gardens are the most unnecessary thing in the world. Have you ever thought about that, by the way? Like a front garden, like it's very common. Sorry, lawn. See, I got the translations for everything in here. So why are you not gaining weight? Why you like all those fast foods? Fast food isn't bad for you. Too much fast food is bad for you. The right amount of fast food is depressingly little, but you can eat like one Taco Bell taco, and then I don't know, a Big Mac for lunch, no fries, no drink, and then I don't know, like a salad from I don't know, Sweet Greens for dinner, and actually have like a balanced day, right? That's the real, like, I think so many things in life. It annoys me when friends are like this. I don't ever tell them because, you know, like, everyone's allowed to believe what they want to believe. It's like religion at this point being like, oh yes, the food that is bad for you is ready meals. Ready meals can have higher salt than normal, is what that means. It's it's bad for you if you overconsume them, but everything is bad. I think there's this struggle we have. I think it was like what I was saying about, like, most people don't want to be programmers because every day is different. Most people want to be like, I go to work in this office and I file a TPS report in the morning. I sit in a meeting at lunch where I write out a meeting report, and that's their day. You know, they love that it's the same day every day. I think we've got the same problem with food, where you know, if you like McDonald's, why wouldn't you go there 4 times a week? I did the money thing. Do you appreciate me now? Says Charlie Begun. Thank you very much. You know, I do appreciate it. I'm a little concerned. Either you didn't have the money earlier, or you know, I'm not gonna think about it. Buy yourself a bag or 2 of ice and put your feet in it, Toy Cat. Oh, that'd be so good. I would love. I need to get like freezable. I'm gonna buy those right now. Yeah, like I buy like a ball that you can fill with water and then it becomes ice, and I can like, not a ball, like, yeah, like a foot. That's what I need to get. I need to get like a foot chili thing. You guys' lawn started as a trend amongst British people to show they are rich, so they can afford to have their land be unproductive, so it's basically your fault. I mean, everything started as a trend amongst rich British people because, you know, like, of course it did. The way I show my wealth is by flexing everyone with the amount of emeralds I have. I have 2 enchanted diamond shovels. Also, I've got a bat. How did the bat spawn? Chat, is this normal? Or is this my first bat in the world? You need an ice vest. Oh, an ice vest would be amazing. I'd love to be too cold right now. Maybe I should get like a... I was going for like, what's less than a vest? I can only come up with like a satchel or like a... I guess like... No, a tank top would be... You know, no, I don't know. I show my wealth by showing everyone the ransom notes I keep for my victims. I think true wealth is not having to ransom people. You think about it. You're still a slave to that 9-to-5 grind. Going to the park on Thursdays to pick up some stuff, you know? It's a whole problem. What's a satchel? You know what a satchel is. It's, you know, yeah, you know what it is. Yeah, no, I think, like, front gardens genuinely annoy me. Because it's more time that you have to spend getting to your own house where you want to spend your chill time. And you have to walk through, like... And then it takes effort to keep it up, too. Like... And the only benefit is when people see it, they go, oh, that's a nice garden. But you already have a back garden. You already have a back one. And that's the nicer garden because strangers can't see your back garden. Wait, do you want to know a funny aside here? The reason that American words are missing some letters, like color, cancelled, is because American newspapers charge by the letter. Learned that. There's always like a degree of truth to culturally spreading rumors, and there's a big degree of not truth to culturally spreading rumors. I'll let you decide for yourself how true that one is. I learned the other day that parrots are no longer breedable. That's... really? That's gotta be a bug. An American insulted Tuesday in chat. What's the alternative? Tuesday? Tuesday? It's Tuesday, innit? Yeah, it's Tuesday. Yeah, it is weird that the British sound for T is ch. I genuinely don't understand it. Like, I do it, like, yeah, it's Tuesday on YouTube. But I don't understand it all. Okay. It's very hot. But I'm gonna keep going, chat. We've had a 2-hour stream. But I feel like I want to do a few more longer streams. But the problem with long streams is like making sure it's like actually good, what people want, right? Like we could keep this going for 4 hours, but I think it's important to like you know, this is the thing I always complain about. Like the concept of YouTube streams is like it's all based around your title thumbnail. Otherwise people don't click it, they don't find it, they don't watch it. And so finding an idea that could be worth spending 4 hours on, and then I don't even know what I'm showing. 2 streams for Tuesday. Yeah, I wonder what do you think people actually prefer, chat? Like more streams or longer streams? Because obviously there is a trade-off to be had there. The more time I spend streaming, the less time I can spend doing my real job of making videos, and you know, like I can give up more time in one direction or the other, but not in both at the same time. Make a script for your streams so you have prompts. You ever think about the economy and how, like, even though, you know, this is that weird experiment thing I was talking about. With, like, every year, we just kind of, like, try something new, and then we say that's how economies work now. You know, like, during COVID, we're like, oh yeah, we're just gonna, if we just pay everyone's wages, it'll just all be fine. And it's like, that doesn't, okay. You know, adaptive streams. If we don't get enough users in the first hour, cut it off and try again. Honestly, Daniel, I think that'd be, like, the ideal. But I think it seems very... There's a weird thing about a lot of people, you know, because obviously the end thing should be the user experience. And some users would say, like, some subscribers might say, what do you mean, I prefer streams, they feel cozier. Sorry, you don't like that word. Take a nap if it's so cozy, why don't you? Okay. Yeah, it's just... I'm just too hot. No, we're gonna keep going. I think pushing through is gonna make me feel better when I'm done. I think it's a counterintuitive fact, but we've got to do it. What's the reason of no air conditioner? Not allowed, hard to get. Okay, so I'm one of the very few British households that has a form of air conditioning, but it doesn't work up here because my roof isn't built for it, and I need to do a thing to my roof, but the cost of that is like high 5 digits, like, you know, coming close to 6 digits. And so then I also would, like, you know, like, long story short, I didn't do it, and so I'm nice and cold in my other rooms, but if I go to my office, I burn. Counterintuitive. You should drink some water. Needs insulation or structural? I need to change the whole shape of it. It's like this right now. Wait, I can just show you. Do you wanna see my roof? It's not this side, but it's the exact same on the other side. Do you see how the roof is like this? I want it to be like this. And so they have to destroy my whole ceiling, just knock that whole thing down. Again, it's actually on this side, but just imagine it's that side. They have to knock the whole thing down, and then build a wall, or like a window, and then build a roof. It's like the attic. Yeah, it's a loft conversion. Yeah, and I don't think this is very common in American homes, but it is in the UK. We yeah, do you like my roof? Just move your office. Yeah. Nah, I won't do that. Yeah, maybe actually. It would be very easy to be air conditioned if I just move my office. It's a good idea. You should invest in a mini fridge for your office just for your cold drinks. That might be a good idea. Actually, wait, I'll just buy an ice cube dispenser for up here. Those can't be expensive, right, chat? Why wouldn't you get a window AC unit? A good one's like 250. I have two, but I use one 77,000 BT unit, cools our house. So the reason I can't use a window one is because not only is it way inefficient on power or whatever else, but like, you know, that's important on some level. I'll show you the noise it makes when I turn it on. Like, it's not bad, but I'm gonna notice it. Also, even with it on, oh, it's a little bit nicer actually. Never mind. Even with it on, I'm just gonna go sit in front of it actually. Just gonna. Even when it on, it doesn't get that much colder, and I'm big on like not compromising for no reason, right? Like, if it's not really making it that much colder. Oh, it is right now though. Oh, that's like glorious. Yeah, if it doesn't fully cool me down and it makes a noise, you know, like it's gonna be noticeable, I'd say. Oh yeah, that's so nice. Having it just blow up me. The magic of the green screen disappears. Let's put it up. Let's see if I feel it strongly. I didn't put it up all the way. There we go. There's a little gap that appears over there. But we'll just pretend we don't see that. You mock me with your cool air. The portable units aren't as expensive as they used to be. You can get them for like two... You know, like, we always talk about inflation because, you know, it's a thing that's happening. But a lot of things are still deflationary by nature. And so every year the cost of, like, air conditioning is going down. Every year the cost of... Do I want to buy any of these things? I don't think I do. No, I could buy a sugarcane just to make this number go down. I'll buy some horn coral blocks. That seems like a smart decision. So I'll throw the 2 sugarcane on the ground, and I'll buy some of these. Oh, they're expensive. I didn't fully appreciate that one. Just fill your entire office with iced water, easy peasy. Yeah, I think. Okay, you know what? What do you reckon, chat? Do you think I can, man, I want Minecraft to still look like Minecraft. But, like, if you try to leave it, it pauses. Ice dispenser Amazon. I just wanna... Okay, $79.99 you can get a machine that just makes ice. I don't think it'd be good, but you could get it. $179.99, that's a lot more. Yeah, just having some ice every now and then. Just hearing your AC is making me cooler. Yeah, it doesn't work as well behind the green screen either. Like I'm way less cooled down. Isn't that what an ice maker does? Ice cube trays are cheaper. You underestimate how many floors down I have to go, and then how many floors back up I have to go. Just buy an ice tray, bro. Also, okay, this is the weirdest thing. I can't explain it. And I've got 2 separate freezers, so it's not even like it's one of them. But, my ice cubes taste funny when I make them in the freezer. I've tried different ice cube trays. I don't know if I just don't like ice cubes anymore or what. You can buy bags of ice at the supermarket. But like, okay, so a bag of ice costs $1.99. So it only takes 40 bags of ice before I'm breaking even on the ice machine. And then, I guess 40 bags of ice is a lot, if we're being honest. Yeah, it's a whole thing. For an ice machine, you have to run water into it. Oh no. Oh, okay, yeah. Nah, that's probably not true. The surviving nations.
Surviving in an ancient city convinced me to become a member, so take my money.
Hey, I'm glad you liked it so much, Naliskin. I'll give it a, you know, there you go. That was the motivational message that tells me, let's do it. People do want to see another one. Let's make it work. Ice cubes always taste weird from the freezer. It's your English water. It could be true. One of the weird things I've learned recently is Vegas actually, Las Vegas, the city of, no, the Valley of Angels. I'm not even sure, but it's the oh gosh, that you're gonna stay in here, buddy. You're gonna stay right in here. Maybe run one from a nearby restroom, or none that far. I'm sure you can just pour water in. It's not gonna be a line. Also, I just wanna. Okay, I'm away now. I'm away. Did you think it made ice from nothing? I thought you poured you definitely pour water in here. There's no. I'm gonna look into this. I think you guys are idiots. I think you guys think that you need like plumbing, when really you just need to fill it with water. Okay, so it takes 6 to. Yeah, it says add water. Yeah, you guys are dumb. You guys don't understand ice machines. Also, thank you very much for the tip, Krabby. Back when you recorded a video on a train. I did record a video on a train. I remember it was a cow train between, like, I don't know, San Francisco South and San Jose. Does your freezer have a smell? That could be the problem. It doesn't have a smell. I don't like using my freezer anymore. Okay, can I tell you my... Okay, this is weird. But my plumber, he buys a lot of meat. I think most people buy a lot of meat, but I can't stand looking at meat, like, just in it by itself. Like, it grosses me out. So now there's just a bunch of meat in the freezer, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to put ice in that, right? I'm not going to... That's not a place I can... you know, I totally could, but it's... I know it's... In my mind, the ice is going to be meaty now. It's going to have, like, you know... It's going to have pig juices on it or something. It's going to be fishy. Anyway, one time I got my tongue stuck to ice and I was crying. I was like 4. Oh, same! Yeah, we went through the same thing. Pal, buddy, friend. It made a huge lump. And I remember thinking at that age, like, this is going to be here forever. My tongue's going to be ruined for... And, like, as a 4-year-old, every day is such a huge part of your life that, like, it makes sense that why I thought that. Yeah, no, I have a weird, like, disappreciation of meat. Like, I see, here's the thing, like, I'm totally down to just pretend meat isn't meat. Like, if you bread it, it's just food. But, like, looking at, like, you know, a fish and being like, that was a, you know, a meat pickle. I have a lot of meat in the freezer, doesn't sound criminal at all. It's not my meat, don't worry. It's my plumber who's the criminal. How did your plumber's meat get in your freezer? Oh, my plumber lives with me. You know, you go through enough bathroom renovations, and you just realize you might as well have the plumber live on site. Yeah, I think that... Can I tell you my acting like we have any control of the weird stories you tell? Your streams are like really long shit fast. You know what, next time I'm going to say, can I tell you a story? And I'm going to wait for the response. Are you turning into a vegan? No. I think being a vegan's a lot easier now than it was before. But it's still so prohibitively hard. And by that, I mean, I don't want to have the conversation where I'm go, do you have a vegan menu? So I can order from it? I don't want to do that. You know, it's a weird... It's something weird about society, right? That, like, I think, you know, I think even if I would give it up for, like, certain countries. You know, you travel into, I don't know, China. They're not going to know what vegans are. Does he do 24-hour callouts, or can you not get his help when he's busy, despite the fact that he lives with you? It is funny. There is something he's needed to do for a while now. And I'm like, you need to do this, like, now. And he's like, before I do that, though, I have to do this. And then before I can do that, I have to do this. And I'm like, why are you making this my problem? Just you need to, you need to, you know, like it's not my problem where you put this. It just needs to be not here. And he's like, but I can't move it there till I've done. And I know it's interesting, right? It's very interesting. Okay, so now we're gonna have like a big plateau. I think this would be a fine plateau, but we'll go 1 block further up, just for the fun of it, right? And then this will be the top. I can never go vegan or vegetarian. I like ribs, wings, and burgers too much. I like I like boneless wings too. Don't get me wrong. But also, can I tell you a story? No, I'm gonna tell it anyways. Yes, good. I'm gonna tell it now. Toycat's democracy. Exactly. We give you the illusion of choice, and then we go of the option if I tell you the story anyway. And everyone's happy. I mean, I'm happy, and I'm everyone. Okay, so we dig a big trench so the water can, like, fall into a hole. And now we drop the water over, like, here. Because this is how water forms naturally. It, like, falls down mountains. Oh, it's going the wrong way. The shortest path is... I guess we're going to have to now, like... I don't know, place a ton of blocks. I don't know how this is working at all, honestly. Okay, and then we'll like shovel an easier path for it over here. Yep. Okay. Just we'll shovel the blocks we need now. Okay, and then it will slowly like go that way. Oh gosh! I can't believe a witch spawned in there. Not gonna work. It's gonna work perfectly. Ice machine found. Yeah, see, the AC's just not really doing much for me, and it's costing me money. And it's, like, making noise. Yeah, how much longer are you streaming for? You've caught me at the tail end of this stream, friend. Friendo friend. Toycat is quite yes. Or is that what he wants you to think? Yeah, no, you can buy an ice machine for like £100. And that's cool. I would like one. All you need to do is... But like, ultimately that is just a fast freezer. Weak heat is a more indirect way to say idiot in Japanese. Yes, I speak Japanese. This is only very offensive if I do the accent badly. Neglected to see the inside of the Dark Mountain, may have some mobs in it. Okay, so as you can see, no more mobs in the Dark Mountain. They're all gone now. We'll just run in here. I think we have torches on us anyway. Oh, we have the ability to make torches. There we go, 4 torches. One over there. One over here. One over here. And then one over here, I guess. Okay, so now we just place a little path in the mountain that goes lower down. It only really has to start higher up, if you think about it. Like there and there. Now the water can start naturally here. It'll flow downwards to like here. And then downwards another block. Okay, we just keep placing one then the other. And then we build off the previous layer. Until eventually we're like... There we go. Look at that. Yeah, there we... See, that we got like a lovely flow path. Or something like that sorted. Place blocks there and there. And then there we go. It'll flow into that perfectly. I don't know if this looks too messy. We might have to like start removing blocks or something. But as a premise, it works, right, chat? Also, didn't I have a water bucket? Where did it go? Okay, let's see if we can do this. Build an aqueduct. I wish aqueducts were, like, required in Minecraft. I love the premise behind aqueducts so much. Okay, so now we just gotta... Okay, so then we just... If we scoop it up and place it down again... Now the fastest route is going to have to be this way, right? Probably. It's not. Okay, so it still does go down there. Now we just have to stop this flow. There we go. Okay, that's not problem solved at all. Randy Carpenter, thank you so much for becoming a channel member. Your support means a lot. It really does. I thank you for choosing to lend it to me. Okay, and we just place some blocks there. No, thank you. I hope you enjoy the Toycat bathing in Iron Brew video, which you now have access to. That's right. It's golden, and it's for you. So we'll just make a hole in the ground. I think that's the smarter way to do it, actually. Is like there is a hole here through which the water will fall. Yep, there we go. So then no one will even notice, and it'll be problem solved. Waterfall, pond, river. Exactly. Ah, it goes down there. So now we just gotta build like a little, you know, like a thing. Perfect. No one should even notice anything was wrong. Might have an issue with that, but we can torch it up. Okay, yeah, this is nice. I feel like we've solved our problems. I think we've solved the issue of mob spawning down there. We've solved the issue of the weird mountain. I think we have to like refix it. Also the exclusive house tour Toycat videos. Exactly. Exclusive. When does Toycat Bathing 2.0 come out? You know, what should I bathe in next? Like I think we've hit the max, right? I think that's the logical endpoint to the series. But if you disagree, let me know. There we go. Okay, so it kind of flows in annoyingly from one way more than it probably should. You know, this looks good enough to me. This looks... Yep, this is how mountains flow in the real world. Now we'll break that. And then we'll put like a something here. And then we'll be good. Wait. Oh, I got rid of a water block in the center, which means... Oh, and I did it again. Oh god, what am I doing to myself? bathe in beef meal in a maid dress. You know, bathing in ramen would be fun, right? Like, take like, how much does a pack of noodles cost? Like 16p? You could buy 100 of them for 16 pounds. Wow, that's cheap. And then you could pour all the noodles in. You get a lot of hot water. You could cook them. This is a very good idea. Yeah, no, this is my new idea. I'm gonna, ramen's too hot. Oh yeah, it would burn me, wouldn't it? I guess we'd have to let it cool down. Bathe in ranch soda. Or imagine a bathtub full of ranch. How it would feel to be surrounded by sauce. Oh yeah, that's a life experience I need to live. Yeah, I think I should do that. Noodles or ranch, chat. You have to pick. Sell the result as Toy Cat Gamer Soup. Bathe in cat food. Yeah, if the merch store had been launching sooner, I would have sold more of those Iron Brew bottles. I actually definitely can't. Would not get away with that. But it's an idea I wish I'd done. Bathe in baked beans. Oh wait, all I have to do is take the blocks and place them here, and then I can make this look more natural. And then there we go. Perfect. Look at it. Okay, so if you look at this from above, okay, this is taken us 2.5 hours, but I really like the end result so far. Bathe in sriracha mayo. Yeah, what could go wrong with that? Got your t-shirt on the mail yesterday. I quite like the shirt. Watching an IBX stream while wearing it. Hey, thank you, Randy. You're not only the newest member on the channel, but you bought a new shirt. That means a lot to me. Thank you. I really mean that, as opposed to not really meaning it. But like, you know what I mean. Spam, says Michelle Owo. I love spam. That's whenever there's spam comments now. That's what I'm gonna have to say. Okay, so look at this, chat. Look at this. Look at this. So it starts in the mountain. It's not a very good mountain, but it starts in the mountain. It flows all the way around. It fills the reservoir, and then it thins out and ends up there. I guess that means it has to be really thick here for that to make any sense. Yeah, that's what we're gonna have to do. But I like it. I like there's a beautiful symmetry to it all. Because if you don't notice the mountain and you don't notice that, it probably doesn't even mean anything to you. But that's half of the fun, right? Maybe not. Maybe not. I want to do something with, like, maybe, I don't know, I want to make this more of like a fun gap. Maybe I should just make it into a really long mountain, wide mountain. But either way, I've had a good live stream today. Have you had a good live stream? If so, consider, I don't know, becoming a member. That's a good way to let me know you want to see more streams. Or, alternatively, what you can also do, get this, you can also buy yourself an exclusive We Will All Die Someday mug at ibxtoycat.store. And if you spend over $50, you get a free Valentine's Day card. By the way, okay, you know, if you want to know a fun fact, I have to pay for those Valentine's Day cards. It makes sense that, like, of course, but like those do cost me. Like, there is a unit fee that I'm paying, so they're free to you, but they cost money. You know, anyway, if you want to spend $50 and get a free card paid for by Toy Cat's expense, because obviously I guess I had to print them, so it makes sense that there's a cost per. Anyway, if you want that, let me know. But if you don't want it, don't let me know, because I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye. Whee!